No, now I'm excited. Now I'm freaking pumped because this is big. Okay, top 3 on the list. Oh, I like these. Number 4 on our list today of 5. We got 2 left here. Number 4 is another one that has been stricken by the Huberman effect, along with some of the most influential and credible podcasters in the world. Chris Williamson, Andrew Huberman, I believe Tim Ferriss, but don't quote me on that one. A lot of them. This is, and I didn't know how to say it for the longest time, LMNT. LMNT Element Electrolyte supplements. And I almost said electrolyte supplements overall, but Element is by a mile the biggest I see scammy, ripping you off product.
I'm big team Liquid IV over here.
Yeah, there's several that are like Gator-like. We'll go over a few that are actually like decent. I'll explain why here in a second too, because electrolytes are very important in your body. Very important. You would die without them. Okay, I'm not saying electrolytes are bad. I'm saying Element. The electrolyte supplement is garbage. Okay, electrolytes you would die without them. Okay, they play a necessary function in proper hydration, muscle and brain function, just about every other function in your body, since they're used in every single cell that we have. Okay, electrolytes are important. And there's several of them, right? Countless of things that you could technically define as an electrolyte, but the primary ones that we use in our body are sodium, salt is what that is, potassium, magnesium, calcium, phosphate, chloride, and bicarbonate. Those are the primary ones that our body needs to function. Especially if you're somewhat active, these might be more helpful to you. I'm not arguing any of that, okay? The point is that you shouldn't almost even be allowed to call Element an electrolyte supplement. Look at what's inside. It's salt. It's salt. It's table salt. Okay, that's what Element is. Okay, it's table salt. A good supplement, what do we talk about? Has one job: to fill a gap that exists in your diet or from what you don't get from food alone. So a good electrolyte supplement, which there are several, would help you fill those gaps. Okay, would help you fill those gaps. But when you look at the primary electrolytes in our diets and which ones a supplement might help with, and we lay these out, it's like, okay, what electrolytes do most of us consume enough of, not get enough of on average? We tend to get close to double the recommended intake for sodium already, and not even close to enough of almost all the others. Okay? For example, 98% of Americans don't hit the RDA for potassium, a massively important electrolyte in controlling our blood pressure, which is one of the biggest issues in our country when it comes to health and heart disease. 98% of Americans don't hit their RDA.
I remember one time when my brother fainted at our grandpa's wake.
Oh, you told me that.
And we went to the hospital, and it was because of a potassium deficiency, literal deficiency. Oh my God, sorry.
It's ridiculous.
I think about that every time. It cracks me up.
I forgot you told that was the circumstance was funny, just how awkward that situation would have been. 98% of people don't get enough potassium. So, maybe a good supplement might have some of that in there. More than half of people in the world don't get enough calcium or magnesium either. Pretty freaking important. Okay. Look at what's inside Element. There's 1,000 milligrams of salt, 1,000, and then a literal sprinkle of potassium and magnesium. I say sprinkle, it's just for the little razzle dazzle. Let's throw it in there. I'm talking less than 4% of the potassium we would need, and less than 15% of the magnesium we need. If you look at that by volume, over 80% of the entire supplement is just table salt. It's table salt. Okay. And I get it. I know these are the people that argue against it. We do lose salt when we sweat. Okay. We do. And I agree with their marketing. Okay. It's very important to replenish that, especially if you're working out a long time. No one's arguing that. It's important to replenish the salt you lose when you sweat. But they make it seem like this supplement is like the magic, like, oh, you need this to replenish it. You can't do that without. But if you look at the NIFS, okay, they released their annual paper based on the actual research, human research, with this statement that says typically water and a balanced snack are enough to replenish electrolytes after most exercise sessions. Water and a balanced snack. Okay. You could literally achieve any benefits of what Element is by putting an extra pinch of salt on your food.
Or in your water.
Or in your water, which even, I'm like, that's even gross to me. You don't even have to do that. Put a pinch of salt on your food. And honestly, you don't even need that most of the time. You don't even need that. you would be typically fine. And here's the crazy part is when you look at a few different things, like when you look at how electrolytes would actually help during exercise and things like this, all of the benefits that may come from electrolytes are when you take them post exercise, not during. When you take them during, the benefits don't occur until after you're done working out, not while
Yeah.
during it. And here's the funniest part to me about LMNT is that one of their main marketing points, you can see this all over the front page of their website, is how they're 0 sugar, 0 grams of sugar, 0 carbs. They're keto friendly. Keep in mind, this is a hydration supplement. It's really supposed to be good with one thing, even though their marketing is like it helps cognition and memory and all this stuff, which it doesn't. But it's a hydration supplement. Sugar or glucose is one of the most important factors in rapid hydration. One of the most important things. This is what kills me. Not just hydration, but performance, strength, endurance. Glucose is what is going to help your body perform better. That is one of LMNT's main marketing pitches. We don't have any of that. They are literally on a billboard marketing. We are worse at doing our only job, not better, because of this thing. That's what it kills me with this. And keep in mind, there are 0 studies, 0, showing that just an electrolyte supplement will improve performance in any type of workout. The only ones that show benefit, because this has been tested, the only one that has shown benefit is when they're paired with glucose or sugar, like with Gatorade. This is why athletes drink Gatorade on the sideline, not LMNT packets.
It's why endurance athletes, runners have like goos and it's literally called goo. It's just concentrated sugar, or we'll take like those little goos on their run with them because you lose a lot of glucose in your sweat and you need that quick energy. You need to replenish it.
Yeah. And that's what boosts your performance. That's what makes you stronger, builds your endurance up. Which cracks me up. All this is this company is like, oh, they recognize people are afraid of sugar and afraid of carbs. So we're going to market that we don't have any of that. We don't really care about the quality of our product or if it's good at doing its only job. We just care if people buy it because we're selling table salt for $45 for 30. That's what it is. $45 for a 30-day supply of table salt. It's not good at hydrating. It's not good at any of this.
Don't take it. If you're hungover, it's not going to do jack shit. I mean, you can't like get rid of a hangover, but one of the biggest reasons why you feel the effect of, and not like they're not marketed for hangovers, but people do.
I was going to say that might be like the only legitimate thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to puke if I eat food.
Yeah.
Maybe some of that would help a little bit. That's it.
But it's not, I would never recommend LMNT for a hangover because one, it doesn't have that sugar, and that sugar is what's going to make you feel better along with the rehydration, but also that sugar piece is going to make you feel better. And you want to make sure you have enough of these electrolytes, which LMNT is not doing a great job in that because you are depleted of them
and this is all of them, not just salt, which is all people care about focusing on. That's what cracks me. This is missing more than half of the primary electrolytes. Like some of my favorites, like Gatorlyte. Gatorade made a specific electrolyte supplement. Gatorlyte. Body Armor IV does a good one. Gorilla has an actual good one. And these have a variety at actual legitimate doses of the majority of these primary electrolytes. Pedialyte tastes like crap, but it's better than
it's good.
Well, I remember it because I bought
No, it doesn't taste good, but it works.
I bought LMNT for a social media post I was going to make explaining all of this, what I just explained to this podcast. And I got it and I was like, let me taste this out a little bit. I'm like, oh my God. This is before I knew what was inside of everything. I was like, oh my God, this tastes like I'm drinking ocean water. This tastes like ocean water. And I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's because it's almost entirely salt. That cracked me up.
Body Armor is good. I like Body Armor, right?
Oh, I love Body Armor, and they have a specific Body Armor in general has a good electrolyte, like insane.
Yeah.
Some of the best potassium I've ever seen in a drink or anything. But they made a specific like electrolyte drink called Body Armor IV, which you can even buy in packets and stuff like that.
If you're trying to get a fuck ton of potassium, watermelon water is really, really good. It is so high in potassium. You definitely have to add some salt to it because it doesn't have. But
which potassium? We're big fans of that. We did that on the top 5 vitamin and mineral deficiency episode. Potassium's huge, and that's one of those. But again, you're gonna say Huberman's wrong. In this case, yes, I love him to death. Again, judge the product based on what it is, not who is.
That guy makes a bag on his sponsors. Like, you got to think about that. He is the top health and fitness podcast in the US.
Which, and I'm not even honestly blaming him. He's got
He's
enough on
deserving
his
of that
plate.
spot. He is so deserving of that
Yeah.
spot. But
I'm like,
it's
he's
just
a professor. He's manages the biggest podcast in the world. He's got too much going on. And this is where I'm like, I can't judge him because of AG1, which is essentially a low quality powdered multivitamin. It's not going to kill anybody.
no.
It's not bad for anybody. It's a complete ripoff, but it's not going to harm anybody.
Yeah.
If I just didn't have time to think about it, if my background's not in nutrition, like his isn't, just came to me and said, hey, we'll pay you probably honestly $10+ million a month if you just shout us out at the beginning of each episode. It's a multivitamin. That's not too hard to turn your head to and be like, okay, cool. They're expensive. Health halo effect. It affects everybody. But same thing with LMNT, with all these podcasters taking it now. They took the same playbook.